To all my traders, this is a video for you. To all the traders that struggle constantly finding a path, finding a plan, and finding the outcome that is situated for you. So in this video today, I'm going to be talking about the key things that are driving traders mad, the key things that are affecting traders' ability to be successful. And in my mentorship program, which is designed to help traders to help combat these issues of understanding which way to strike and to understand which parameters you need to look into when it comes to deciding which trade is optimal and which isn't. So we're going to be talking about the key tool that I use in order to help these traders overcome these challenges and overcome climbing this mountain that is constantly putting pressure on you and constantly affecting the way you perform. Before I get into this, I want to show you a little bit of a detail of today's morning call. The morning call is what we do every day to prepare our traders for the day to come. And these morning calls sets up the trade and strategy and also helps us identify the key trades that we're going to be getting into and also the overall prediction that we have. Okay, these predictions that I provide only work when the parameters that are behind them are fulfilled. So it's very important to always remember that, and risk management is key when we get into it. So let's review that quick little morning call. Now, today's session, we see SPX futures slightly lower at 54.50 here, okay? Pretty much it's trading on an inside day. We don't really see much major move here overall, okay? Now, one thing about that is really telling me that we may see a recovery here is pretty much trend has been moving that way. And B is we don't see the put premiums really moving as much. Okay, so what I mean by that is if we're looking at basically, let's just say the 54.40 put over here, which is going for around $5 to $6 range. It had a high day at around 8.5. In reality, these should be worth approximately even more than $10. Okay, 54.40, because it was literally very close to the money. And not seeing these put premiums show great value for now. Okay, they're pretty much trading in the normal pricing scheme, and they're pretty much undervalued here. Okay, so that kind of tells me that we may see a relative bounce here. Just keep an eye on it. Okay, I'll probably say the market is bullish once we start to really gap above the 54.70 number, as I mentioned in today's gamma report. Okay, so that's going to be the key number that we're going to be pretty much looking into for today. Okay, so if SPX manages to get above 54.70, 54.80, that is pretty much bullish here. But this area is very choppy. Okay, if you look at the overall map on SPX, we pretty much already called it out where 54.50 to 55.70 is going to see a lot of chop, and we're trading between the two moving averages here. Okay, so which is right over here and over here. Now, SPX pretty much didn't hit this level 1 bearish on the weekly support at 54.40. Now, if you watch that morning call, you will notice that I discussed the option premiums and I went over on where I see the market going based on the key parameters that we spoke about. Now, in my Discord, which is designed to help traders understand the key direction that we see the markets going, I pretty much do that by providing this gamma report that you see over here. Okay, this gamma report is the key reason why many traders in my room understand which direction to focus on. So, for example, we spoke about today that the market strength is purely based off if SPX was to meet one parameter, which is that it would be above 54.70. Okay, this is very key. And the way we establish these numbers is purely based on probabilities. And that is where the model comes in line. When you achieve a parameter, your likelihood of success is a lot higher. And with that detail in mind, we can use those odds to help us make the right decisions at the right time. Okay. Now, in order for the market to have a bullish parameter, we had to see SPX break above 5470. Now, this was a key objective in order for it to be achieved. Now, a lot of traders that didn't know this information, they probably would have sold out at 5470 because the market was trading in that range and it had difficulty breaking through that. That's where the 50-day moving average is around, and that was causing a big problem for a lot of people. Okay, understanding of when the potential breakout can happen, but we knew this in advance that as long as that 5470 comes, that's a key time to take those calls. Okay, our neutral range. So the neutral range is basically the area where the market is likely to chop. Now, the SPX opened lower. We were trading at around 54.40, and if you guys watched that the morning call, I mentioned that they weren't adding premiums and puts. So because of that reason, that's why we've seen SPX look very strong towards the upside, especially if it hit 54.70. And we also give a final prediction, after discussing everything in terms of the news, we give the edge to the upside based on premiums only if we gap through 54.70. And this here, of course, is timestamped at 7 a.m. And here's the final result here. Okay, so if you guys look at SPX, you can see it moved exactly. This was the beginning of the trading day, as you guys can see over here. Around here is the beginning of the trading day. Market gapped up right over here, so it's right over here. Okay, this is on a 30-minute time scale. Market gapped over here. It was trading in this range for at least 2-3 hours, and then eventually it made its way up. Okay, key thing that you'll note here is that the market basically was opened at 54.58. That was the low of the day, and eventually once it broke through here, it went to 55.09. Okay, and that's a key thing that we'll notice here. All right, I want to make sure traders are successful moving forward and they see a lot of success happening. Okay, now we're going to be going into the details on what parameters are necessary for trades to explode. Okay, so we made a lot of returns. I'm not even going to go and bother going into my gains and all of that. I just want to give you guys the parameters of knowing the next play, knowing the next hand that you should look into, because if you guys are watching this morning market update, we just don't spend time bragging. We spend time giving you the results and the information necessary to make the key decisions. Okay, so everyone in my mentorship program got that. Our estimated weekly high on SPX, my prediction is at 55.30. It's a short week. You want to keep that in mind. Okay, plays that I am bullish on. So if you guys remember, I spoke about AMD. Okay, I actually had AMD calls, the 160s. We got it around 1. We sold it around 70%, and we took our profits. But it managed to really explode. In the morning, we sold it at the high of the day premium. But near the end of the day, it just started to really rally because it was up 1.5% and then it went negative, and then it started to explode here as well. Now, AMD, I think it might struggle here. You do see a golden cross here as well. But in order for AMD to really get through, it must get through this chop range here, okay? So what I see happening with AMD here is that this 170 is going to be very tough to get across. But if it does manage to really break, which is going to be the key parameter here, has the potential to see 180 today. Okay, so in my neutral chop range, I believe it's going to be chopping in this zone. So that's why I'm not a fan of this play at this time. The reason why we took calls, if you guys looked at our Twitter, was because it was near my level 3 bear support, which was the optimal time to get in. and we got out around here before the stock exploded. But it's very possible it could chop here. That's why we're not a fan of this, and we don't see any strength in the premium for that. The play that we do like, however, is ARM. Okay, so even though that ARM is in my chop range between 166 and 158, I have a reason to believe that the premiums were too cheap going into this player, especially if you were to look at the 160s. Okay, so if ARM was to gap through 166, which it pretty much broke through this 50-day moving average, which you see right over here, it's very possible it can start to move here. Okay, now when we look at the probabilities of things, this is my probability chart. You see here that ARM has a strong probability of really gapping through this 166. So the probabilities are high, but if it does get through this 166, you're looking at 174, and that's a good chance for that. So up to you. 166 is where I'm looking to take my profits and the leaving runners. Okay, so that's what we're looking at. Broadcom, on the other hand, is struggling to really gap through here. Okay, so Broadcom here, the max potential that I see Broadcom hitting is 1710. Okay, it's very tough for it to get through, and what we're noticing here, that the next key levels that we see, it's going to be very choppy around here. So our SMA weekly high is around 1720, and we're just watching that. Currently, we are seeing some push through on LRCX, but based on our probabilities and our gammas, the max success that we see is 110, which has a low chance of happening. But if it does get through, you're looking at around 1130, 1140 on LRCX. Now Tesla here, one stock that broke through all my estimates, and that's simply due to the fact that the news, the deliveries, and the sales was higher than expected, even though the whole situation with China. Apple is slightly above my estimated weekly high at 220. We had calls on this as well. It has an opportunity to really get to 230 if the market does really rally. So let's keep an eye on that for now. But 220 looks like the area it may base around. Amazon is also stuck at this 200 here. With that in mind, Amazon, let me see here. Where did I have my chart? It looks like Amazon could potentially max upside is 210, and we gave it even a trade idea as well. So with all this information that I provided you here, you see that the morning outcome, you see how we use premiums to understand the direction of the overall market, and based on that, we get confirmation through our parameters. Now, if you guys need this information, which is helping my traders constantly know the direction, check out my mentorship, especially my free Discord. If you see my free Discord, the amount of trades that we gave that are definitely high value and are earning my traders a lot of success, as you can see over here in our SPY trade section. A lot of these trades are winners, and they have an 80% success rate. So if you guys look at our Discord here again, this is my free section here for my free members that are in the community. You can definitely check it here. We also offer 3-day trials. So in order to qualify, you must sign up on the application to do so, and you must confirm the code with me to confirm that you're a real person. Okay, so that's pretty much all we got for you guys right now. We do have a massive sale on our analyst program, and I want to give you guys the opportunity to test it out for yourself, see how accurate my predictions are, and we will try to talk about the post reaction of all our predictions on a daily basis. Sometimes I get swamped with a lot of mentorship calls, a lot of one-on-one coaching that I provide, because coaching is what really helps people become successful, and I spend a lot of my own personal time doing that so that everyone can be successful, and I want you to be successful as well. So check out our program, and we'll definitely make sure that you are on the right track towards building your trading account What happened in the past does not matter. What matters is what you do next towards helping your future, and that future is all about making sure that you are a successful trader moving forward. So we'll see you guys on the inside, and like always, let's get that money.